Hello and welcome to this session where we're going to be listening to some voices from food sharers. I am delighted to welcome Kemi, who has joined us from London and works with the project Be Enriched. Kemi, thank you for joining us today. We're delighted to have you. So my first question for you, Kemi, is can you tell us a bit about Be Enriched?
Sure. Be Enriched originally started as a youth project. We weren't meant to be doing anything to do with food at all. It was about getting young people involved in situations that they wouldn't normally be in, to support them, to help them to get out of at risk of committing some sort of crime or being involved in criminal activity. And actually it came about that I wanted young people to also learn a skill, and cooking seems like a very obvious skill that you can learn, but sometimes children aren't put in those situations where they can learn those skills from family. So we set up a food project where the young people could learn how to cook, put them in situations and with people that they wouldn't normally be around, and hopefully that would help them have a different outlook of life. But very quickly after we set up the first meal, I realized that people were actually really hungry in the area. So I couldn't just end it after my project with the young people finished. And it's now 8 years on, and quite a few of these community food projects, or we did until very recently.
Fantastic, thank you. And could you tell me a little bit more about what was your motivation to set up a project like this, and what motivates your volunteers to get involved?
My motivation is food. I like to eat. I get to eat as well, because every time anyone cooks, I get to eat delicious food. I like to meet other people from the local area, and the lack of funding for community services recently from national government means there's not many places that aren't a pub that you can meet in just to meet local people. So in fact, I think the pub is the only place you can go to meet local people in. And I think that motivates a lot of my volunteers, as well as the opportunity to give back. They come for the first time to give back, and then they stay because they enjoy it so much. We have a very hard time turning over our volunteers, so everybody gets a chance, which is a good problem to have, I think.
Fantastic, thank you. And could you tell me a little bit about what impacts you see Be Enriched having?
Absolutely. I think over the past 8 years, we've become a sort of anchor project in each of the areas that we operate in. Sadly, I've seen people start to rely on the food parcels, the community meals, that they get from us, and the networks that are built between people. A lot of them at risk of social isolation, or actually, living through social isolation and loneliness. The way that they're able to build networks through our community meals, I think that's definitely impact. It's all of these things that you can't really measure in numbers, but through the 8 years that I've been there, I've experienced the changes in people's demeanor and the way that they act with each other, the way they've built confidence as well, to the point where some people that they had no friends and would never go out of the house now regularly come and they volunteer and they help out as much as they can. So those are the main impacts, I think. Things that you can measure is obviously the amount of food surplus that we repurpose and use in our meals, and I guess the way that the projects have organically developed into what they are now, really.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kemi, for telling us about the project. It's been really great to hear from you. And for you who are watching, if you would like to hear more from Kemi and her work, please do tune in tomorrow when Kemi and Louise will talk about the future of food sharing and what Kemi's thoughts are on that. And if you would like to learn more about the Be Enriched project, please check out their website on www.be-enriched.org. Thanks, Kemi.